Hey babes, welcome or welcome back to and everything in between. I'm Victoria, your host and guide for navigating the beautiful chaos of your 20s. Whether you're building your dream career, figuring out relationships, or just trying to find you, this is your space for self-growth, real talk, and a little fun along the way. Let's dive into it and everything in between. In today's episode, we're talking about confidence. Not the kind that you perform, but the kind that you actually build and carry in your everyday life. Because let's be real, confidence shows up in everything: how you walk into a room, how you speak up at work, how you love, how you show up for yourself. It's everywhere. And yet, so many of us struggle with it. And a lot of the time, that struggle is quiet and internal. So, in this episode, we're diving into what confidence really is, how it works, and how we can start growing it in a way that actually feels sustainable and true. Let me be transparent. There was a time when I looked extremely confident. Like on paper, I had my degrees, the experience and internships, the style, especially moving into a city where everyone is such a, or seems to be such a confident individual. I came to the realization very quickly that this is something that I needed to be too. But when I first moved to New York City on the inside, I was spiraling. Every word I said, I second guessed. I was experiencing imposter syndrome with being in the industry that I had fallen into. I was basically smiling and nodding and playing the part, but I didn't feel confident. And that's honestly when I realized that confidence is not how other people see you, but about how you see you. It's the knowing within yourself that you are allowed to take up space. Okay. Even if your voice shakes, even if you don't have all of the answers, even if you may be under a false assumption that you don't deserve to be in that room, confidence is also, it's not something that's loud. It's not about being the spoken person in the room. It's not about pretending to have it all together. Real confidence is trust. It's trusting yourself. It's saying that even if I mess up, it's okay. I got this. I'm still an incredible person. I still deserve to be here. I still can do what I want to do. It's showing up when things are uncomfortable, showing up for yourself when things are uncomfortable. It's trying something new, even if you're scared. And you don't build confidence by waiting until you feel ready to do something. You build it by taking that first step. I think this is where that very famous saying comes in: fake it until you make it. You have to be willing to show up, dust yourself off, put a big smile on your face, trust that even if you are not entirely prepared or that things don't feel stable or as solid as they can be in whatever the situation is, you take that first step. Not ready because you trust yourself. That is confidence. Confidence comes from action and repetition and failure. Sometimes it's showing up and being like, okay, I have to do this thing. I'm going to show up for myself and be okay that if it doesn't work out, you take the lesson that you learned and try again. It's trying again and being okay with an imperfect outcome. The more you do something, the more you prove to yourself that you can. You didn't know how to drive until you practiced. You may not have been great at public speaking until you actually got up and spoke and decided, okay, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to attempt it, even though I may be scared, even though I am not the best person at it in this room. You didn't learn your boundaries until you had to set them. That's the pattern. Confidence is a byproduct of courage, of trusting yourself. You act first and then the feeling comes later. Of course, there is reason to your action. There is intention behind your action. And hopefully there's a little bit of thought and planning that goes into you taking the step that you need to in order to build your confidence. But for the most part, it is just standing up and deciding that, okay, today's the day that I'm going to do the thing. That's confidence. And taking that step, just starting and realizing that when you do complete that action, no matter what the outcome is, you are able to take something from that allows you to get better and doing it the next time and building the confidence to do it better the next time. So, confidence comes in different areas. Okay, let's break it down. Number one, of course, in your career. Something that's important to know, especially as a woman in your 20s, you're not supposed to know everything. You are supposed to be learning. You're encouraged to be learning and asking questions and making mistakes because you're just getting into the world and figuring things out. Something that I have found to be a very powerful statement in the workplace specifically is I don't know, but I will find out. You don't have to have all of the answers, but you have to be willing to take a step to figure it out and have confidence in yourself to add value to the people that are around you in the organization that you're a part of. Because it can be a little daunting when someone has high expectations of you, or you have a big project or task that you need to complete, and there are parts that are unfamiliar or that you just don't even know how to attempt. But having confidence will allow you to come out of that thing with a product, even if it isn't the right thing, the quote unquote right thing. I say that because there are many different solutions and answers to many different problems that we face in the world, especially in our day to day jobs. But just saying, okay, I really have no idea how to even start this, how to attempt this, but I have the confidence to figure it out and to find a solution. Okay. The next place confidence shows up is in our relationships. Confidence is knowing that you don't have to shrink or mold yourself to be loved. You deserve reciprocity, not confusion. I think it's that inner voice. Some call it an inner voice, some call it your intuition, but trusting that inner voice in your relationships to know when is time to move on, when is time to say enough is enough, when it's time to say I deserve more. Confidence, again, like it circles back to the idea of trusting yourself. And if you can't trust yourself to keep yourself safe or to be able to hear your own inner voice telling you, like, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel like what I know love to be, then you're just going to settle in the world, and you deserve love that is beautiful and that is safe and that doesn't have you questioning whether or not you are worth something. Okay. So listen to your inner voice, listen to your intuition, and remember that it's okay to trust yourself in order to make decisions around your relationships. And finally, where confidence shows up is in social settings. I think this is the biggest part of the confidence equation. You don't have to be the life of the party. You don't have to be able to show up into a room where you don't know anyone and be prepared to speak to every single person in the room. You can be the observer and be confident. You can be the question asker and be confident. You can find one person in the room and strike deep conversation with them and have confidence. It's about being grounded in who you are, not trying to impress everyone else. I've seen a lot of like videos on YouTube where people are like, confidence, you have to walk into a room, look at every single person in their eyes, smile, stand there, wait for people to come to you. That is a confidence, okay? That is very strong, bold confidence, and not everyone can do that. Not everyone is like that, or that type of confidence isn't true for many people. So I think that are a lot of misconceptions about what confidence looks like, what it can look like. And I really want to drive it home that it is so specific to you and true for you as an individual. Let's talk about building personal confidence. Here's what helps, okay? Number one, tracking your wins. Seriously, like keep a file of proof for yourself that you can look back on whenever you need a boost or to remind yourself how incredible you are and how far you've come. Keep a file of proof that holds your wins. It literally rewires your brain to remember that you have done hard things before. Okay. Number two, move your body like someone who believes in herself. Your posture, your breath, your eye contact. It's all a game changer. So, I was just talking about how I've seen examples on YouTube of confidence where people are talking about, yeah, walk into the room, look at everyone, that it's its own like category of confidence. But for you as an individual, your posture, breath, and eye contact can shift the way that you think about yourself. If you are hunched over all of the time, if you're walking down the street, hunched over, you're looking down, you're looking at your phone, you're just like not a part of the reality around you, chances are you're not going to feel part of the world around you or feel super confident in yourself. And that's just walking in the world, okay? Like it's important to pay attention to the small things that we do that can have an effect on our mood, have an effect on the way that we see ourselves. If you're someone who easily is like panicked and your breathing gets super like I feel it right now. I'm like thinking about having a panic attack. Like it's painful. I think something that can really help is the awareness of your mannerisms and the way that you are in your everyday life in different situations and staying aware of that, staying aware and being able to course correct so that you can calm your own nervous system if there is a situation of anxiety or you're feeling overwhelmed at work and to just like breathe. All of these things are specific to you, and building confidence starts with recognizing what your baseline is and determining how you can increase or improve that baseline by 1% every day. Number three, stop trying to fake it till you make it, okay? Instead, practice until it feels natural. Again, evaluate how you walk down the street. If you are the person that's hunched over looking at their phone, walking down Fifth Avenue, think about that and decide, okay, you know what? Let me try to just get off my phone and just walk straight, eyes straight. That is an intentional practice rather than, okay, this is my time to walk down the street and just strut my stuff and sway my hips. Like that may not be natural to you, okay? And people can smell fake. And that is, I don't want to say that exudes confidence if it's not natural to you. It has to be natural to you for confidence to generate within you. And lastly, and honestly, most importantly, is being kind to yourself. Self compassion is a confidence builder. Shame, telling yourself, oh my God, no, how can you do something like that? Oh my God, I made a mistake. How can I do that? Girl, that kills your confidence immediately. And if you are the person that's killing your own confidence, how can you expect to have anything at the end of the day that allows you to become a more confident feeling person if you're breaking your own self down? Be kind to yourself. Here's something that I can leave you with. Confidence doesn't mean that fear disappears. It means that you trust yourself enough to move forward every time you show up for yourself, even if it's imperfectly, even if it means that you don't really know how to do it, but you're choosing to show up for yourself. You're building that confidence muscle. Here's a journal prompt that can help you going into the week. Where in your life do you want to feel more confident? Episode resonated with you or would be helpful for someone you know, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube and share it with a friend. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at and.everything.inbetween for updates, and you can find me on Instagram at victoria.liverpool. This podcast is sound designed and edited by Misty Avenger. Music for this podcast is The Dude by Matt Large, courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Details provided in the description. Remember, episodes drop weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. Until then, keep growing, glowing, and remember, you got this.